What's going on, guys? Bodybuilding Alpha here, and today's topic is simplifying your guys' view on gaining weight, building muscle, losing weight, and losing fat. So, I created a chart for you guys, and let's get started on this chart. And our starting point is going to be the maintenance calories right there in the middle. Now, your maintenance calories is calories that will maintain your weight. So let's take a 160-pound man and let's pretend his maintenance calories are 3,000. I'm just throwing random numbers, so don't take that to heart. So here we have a 160-pound man, 3,000 calories is his maintenance. So if he eats those 3,000 calories every day, it's going to maintain those 160 pounds. Now, how do we find our maintenance, which is our starting point? There's two ways you can do this. Complex way and a very simple way. Complex way is an equation. Simple way, you type in macronutrient calculator right there on Google, and you either click the first, second, third link. It's just gonna be a calculator, and it's gonna ask you for your age, height, gender, and daily activity level. Type all those in. It's going to ask you whether you want to lose, maintain, or gain weight. And you simply just click maintain, and it's going to give you a calorie number. That calorie number is the calories that you need to consume per day to maintain the weight that you're currently at. Now, once we find our maintenance, we can either do two things with that maintenance. And that's either go in a caloric surplus, which is going up on the chart, or a caloric deficit, which is going down on the chart. Let's pretend we're going on a caloric surplus. So we go in a caloric surplus. Now, what does caloric surplus mean? Simply just means you're adding calories to your maintenance. So we're at 3,000 calories with the 160-pound man, and now we add 500 calories to that, or to create a caloric surplus, we add 500 calories to our maintenance. Now we're in a caloric surplus because we're adding calories. Now, caloric surplus is going to allow you to gain weight and muscle. And it's going to allow you to gain muscle if you're in the gym, progressing in the gym, and going faithfully, every day. You're hitting all your workouts, doing a proper form, just making progress in the gym. The caloric surplus is going to allow you to gain muscle and gain weight. Now, say we're like, man, we want to go the other way. We're going the other way of the maintenance calories, and that's the caloric deficit. Now, the caloric deficit is the opposite of a caloric surplus, and that's you're at your maintenance and you subtract calories from your maintenance. So, being in a caloric deficit is simply just going to allow you to lose weight and lose fat as you keep subtracting calories. I have an example right here for you guys. As you can see, there's 3,090 calories in there, and then if you want to go in a caloric surplus, it turns into 3,900 calories. If you want to go in a caloric deficit, 2,065 calories. So you see you subtracted here and you added calories here. Now, what's the most accurate way of tracking calories? Can you just simply just do the math on calories on everything you eat? Yeah, you can. Or you can do a more accurate way. And that's using macronutrients. Right here. And your three main macronutrients are your fats, carbs, protein. And 1 gram of each of those equals a certain amount of calories. That's going to add to your calories, or to your maintenance calories, or in a calorie surplus, or your calorie deficit. Let me explain it a little better right here by showing you guys this. And right here, macronutrients. So fats, 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. Carbs, 1 gram of carbs equals 4 calories. Protein, 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. Now, as you can see, the more fats you get, the more carbs you get, the more protein you get, it starts adding up to a certain amount of calories. So your calories that you're at need to add up to those three main macronutrients. So let's go back to my example that I had up. So this person right here is at a maintenance, 3,090 calories. Now his fats are 90 grams, his carbs are 400 grams, and his protein is at 170 grams. If you do the math using these numbers right here that I showed you, it's going to add up to 3,090 calories. Now, using these macronutrients, you are much more accurate on attaining your maintenance calories and it's going to be much more accurate when you want to become in a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit. Now, this is very simple to use, very simple tool to use. All you have to do when you either want to go into caloric surplus or calorie deficit is either take away from these macronutrients, and it's simply gonna, so just focus on these three and say you take away, from your fats or your carbs. I never recommend to take away from your protein because that's what's gonna help you build muscle or keep your muscle on whichever one you're going. So always focus on the fats and carbs. Well, not always, but mainly focus on the fats and carbs. So say we take away from carbs and fats, and that's going to bring us down here. Our fats are 65, our carbs are 200, and our protein stayed the same, 170. So this brought us down to 2,065 calories. We were currently at 3,090 with our maintenance, but we subtracted, so that brought us down to 2,065. But we didn't subtract from the calories. We subtracted from macronutrients. So we simply just took away from these two, or these three if you wanted, these three, and it does it for you. You take away the calories by simply just taking away from here. Now the opposite, caloric surplus, you just add to these macronutrients. And here we added to our fats and our carbs and our protein. So we added 100 grams for fat, 550 grams for carbs, and 200 grams of protein, and that brought us up to 3,900 calories. So you guys see here, we add to the macronutrients or we subtract to the macronutrients, depending on your personal goals. Now, very simple to use. That's very simple to use, and I don't think it gets more simpler than how I just explained it. But if you guys have any questions, leave in the comments section and I'll gladly get back to you guys as quickly as I can. And one more thing I want to mention is cardio is a tool, not a necessity. So cardio is not the only way you're gonna lose fat or lose weight. Cardio is a tool to your calories that you're at. So if you don't want to take away no more calories when you're in a caloric deficit, you simply just add those calories to your cardio, and that's that. You don't have to take away from your food. So if you're better off with less food, then less cardio. If you're better off with more cardio and more food, well, have at it then. And another thing, real quick thing here. This here is an explanation of why you can't build muscle and lose fat at the same time. How is it possible that you're going to be in a caloric surplus while you're in a calorie deficit? That just does not play out correctly. So it's either you gain muscle and gain weight, and then simply take off that weight and show off that muscle that you've gained. So simple as that. And that's all for today, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bodybuilding Alpha out.